Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the East Asia Zoo. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard. If you've been here before, welcome back. Either way, I do appreciate your time and your attention. So, a couple of things have happened since we last saw each other. I've built a little bit of a staff area. I didn't want to concentrate on, another episode in doing nothing but building buildings. But as you can see, I'm slowly putting them together and slowly decorating them. I'm trying to make each one a little bit unique, so that'll be, that'll be something. I'm probably going to be working on these for the most part. I'll be working on these in between the other episodes. So, and I will be decorating the area and making it fit the theme of everything else, being a garden. Anyway, to get started, let's get started. What we're going to do today is we are going to build a giant panda exhibit, because I figured, why not start with the East Asian animal? I mean, let's face it, when you think East Asian animals, what do you think? What do you think of? Well, of course, you think of giant pandas, because who wouldn't, right? I mean, what else are you going to think of? You're going to think of Komodo dragons? Well, you could, I suppose, but would you really? All right, let's see. Let's make this 2, and let's widen this to 8. All right. Now this is going to be a little tricky. Hold on a second. Maybe I should just do it down here. All right. Come on, come over here, will you? I want to put another one. God, I hate when there's a reason everybody hates the pathing system. All right. So, now we can safely delete these. Right out loud. Also, would you look at this? Would you look at this? I just wanted to get rid of that little bump there in the. What is that? Oh, you know what? We're gonna have to start this over anyway. So, okay, we'll back it up. And then I guess what I want to do is we're going to flatten everything to the foundation. You may notice that our entry plaza is now sitting on a hill. It's because apparently I jinxed myself when I was building this thing by lowering. You may notice, or remember rather, when I lowered this archway right there into the ground. Well, it apparently reset the grid on every building, so now it's all going to be lower, and it's creating divots, and it's messing with the terrain. So I need to flatten everything to foundation before we can actually build on it. That's all right. That's okay. If we have to, we have to, right? So where was I? Okay. Path. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you know what? I'm just going to keep the grid. It'll end up being square unless I corner things up, I guess. Well, let's figure it out. Okay, that is what I wanted all along. That right there. Now let's just see if I can do it again over here. I hate, God, the pathing system. There's a reason everybody complains about it. You guys know that, right? It's not going to let me do it. Oh my God, it's not going to let me do it. Fine, 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 and fine. We don't want to cooperate. We don't want to cooperate. I get it. I get it. They don't want to cooperate. But there are more than one way to skin a cat here, boys and girls. You and I both know that's true. So what we're going to do is this. Okay. Now this is going to take a little while because the path, the beginning path is important to the ultimate shape of this habitat as I have it planned out. So if I spend a little time on the path, I apologize. It's not exciting and it's not me building a habitat. It is working on the path. But that's okay. 1 and 1. And then we will turn it up this way. And we'll turn it up that way. In fact, what I may do is I may just fast forward through this part. I don't know. It's probably not going to last long enough to need fast forwarding. So let's just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, just so we keep the other side in sight. Okay. Whoop. Even I saw that was. Okay. And then what we can do, that's not exact, that's not perfect, but I don't know, how else would you handle it here? Because what I want is basically to connect these, but it's not gonna, it's not gonna connect even. You see, right here in this corner, it for whatever reason doesn't want to connect even. I'll take it, whatever. I'll hide that somehow. I'll put a rock over it or something. Okay, so we have this Y shape. What am we going to do with the Y shape, Jack? Well, I'll show you. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually extend it by 3 on either side. Okay. And then I'm just going to do this. Now, this back line here is not a permanent path. I'm going to be removing this back line. It is basically there so I know, so I have a judge, what's a straight line, what's a not. Because what I actually want to do is, let's see. What I actually want to do is this. I'm going to do another line right here. And again, this is a guideline. This line here. That second line is a guideline. And you'll see why in a moment. So we go to the barriers. And as usual, let me get a drink of water before I continue. As usual, we're going to start off with my friend and yours, the null barrier. Let me see, what's it set on? 10, 10, 10, and it's set to be editable in the bottom. I don't want that. I want flat tops. Post links vary to keep tops of barriers flat. Well, flat top editable bottom. We'll keep the at. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. It's not like. Is angle snap on? Angle snap's on. Why is angle snap on? That's weird. I don't remember turning on angle snap. This is something that happens with the game every once in a while. You'll go, okay, well, wait, how did that get turned on? Well, it's because the game randomly decided that it needed to have whatever it was you were doing turn on. Excuse me for the little burp. That was gross in your microphones. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, the game will randomly decide to turn things on occasionally. It's a thing. It just happens. Okay, let's pull this one back. You know, and I'll be honest, doing curved barriers, it's possible to do you can see it right here. It's possible to do curved barriers with the null barrier. I suck at doing curved barriers. I have never been able to do a decent curved barrier. I'm admitting it. You know, hi, I'm Jack, and I have a problem. My problem is I can't do curved barriers to save my life. My curved barriers look like crap, so I'm not even bothering. I'm going to do it some other way. Now, let's go to the East Asia theme, and we'll turn off the blueprints because, you know, I'm trying to use minimal blueprints. Minimal blueprints. There's nothing wrong with using blueprints, but I'm trying to use minimal blueprints for my my zoo designs. My friend Donna, who goes by Zooanna, and she's brilliant, by the way. She is a brilliant zoo maker who I think is head and shoulders more skilled at this than I ever have been and ever will be. But she insists that I'm getting better every day, blah, 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 blah. And so, okay, yeah, all right, fine, I'll listen to her. You know, apparently I'm better at it than I think I am. But she is just head and shoulders better at this than I am. And is that the smallest one? That might be the smallest one. It's a roof. Okay. All right. So anyway, she challenged me to start using fewer, fewer and fewer blueprints in my construction, because for a while I was using them all the time. I mean, hey, they're there. Why not, right? And she's like, no, what you should do is you should actually try building some things from scratch. And I was like, well, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. So that's why I've started in with the limited blueprint builds. Plaster. Or wait, no, I did want dry stone. Dry stone. So we're going to lay some of this down. But on the corners, now that isn't that interesting. On the corners, we're going to have these towers. Okay? There we go. That's about what I wanted. So, and then, as with most of the others, we're going to start laying down these 1 meter dry stone walls. Like so. Had an interesting adventure today, I gotta tell you. As most of you know, I think I've mentioned it a couple of times, I am a retired chef, which means when I go out to dinner, and I do often because my family likes going out to dinner with, each other. We are a close family, and we really do love each other, and we enjoy spending time with one another. This was me and my brother Nathan. What, now you're gonna... There we go. This was me and my brother Nathan. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to come in and, put one of these down here anyway, but still. Me, my brother Nathan, and our mother and our father. And we decided to go out and get some seafood. we hadn't been, we hadn't had seafood in a while, and my mother is, you know what? Let's get rid of that piece. There we go. My mother is a lover of the lobster. If you give her a chance to eat lobster, she will take it every single time. So we're going out and we're having dinner, and it's a good dinner. The dish I had was this shellfish dish. It had shrimp, it had mussels, it had lobster. It was really good, garlic, buttery. Oh my gosh, it tasted fine, and everything was cool, and it was a wonderful dish until I found the dead mussel in my dish. Now, like I said, like I have said before, I am a retired chef, so you guys know that I know from seafood. I know from, how food is to be cooked. And let me tell you, if you're ever in a restaurant and you decide to get mussels and you get one that's closed, send your dish back, because that's a bad sign. Doesn't mean that the people in the kitchen intentionally did anything to you, because it's entirely possible they missed it also. It might be the restaurant's distributor, their supplier, who gave them the dead mussels. But the point is, let them know. Make sure you have, you tell the restaurant's manager, hey, you guys just sold me a rotten mussel. And I did. I called the manager over and I said, hey, this mussel's closed, it's dead. You need to talk to your expediter. And she was like, oh, I'm very sorry, and she apologized, and she did remove the item, this dish that I had been up until that point enjoying from our bill. And of course she was like, are you feeling the effects? Because let me tell you, boys and girls, if you get if you get food poisoned from mussels, you feel it almost immediately. Especially if it's something serious. If you're really, if you've downed like half a dozen of the mussels, and that's weird. If you down half a dozen mussels and they're bad, you're gonna be feeling it immediately. And by feeling it, what I mean is, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be in the bathroom, and you're gonna be, to put a fine point on it, you're going to be losing stuff from both ends. You're gonna be vomiting, and you're gonna be crapping like a fire hose. But that's if you get, the full bore from the food poisoning. I got lucky. I only got a little mild case of it. As such, I've been feeling a little untoward, but nothing's actually happened. I haven't puked up. I haven't had to, spend the last hour and a half in the bathroom. I was lucky. But then, and the problem is, the shame of it all is that I was really liking what I was having for dinner. It was really good. It was a great dish, and thinking about it, I might actually try to put it together myself, because it was really, up until the time that it turned out that it wasn't, it was really a treat. Let me get another drink of water. All right. Now, remember how I said that this path was a guide? Well, it is. It's a guide. The reason I put it here was because I wanted that back wall to be razor straight. I mean, look at it. Boom. That is about as straight as you possibly could get it. And one of the other things, is, I got everything down, but that's okay. What I want to do now is this. What we're going to do is we're going to set barriers. And what I want is, I want the barriers actually to be inside the wall, like that. Come on, stick. There we go. And we'll deal with the rest of the barriers in a moment. I haven't actually decided what I'm going to do about them. I may use this same wall, or I may use something else. But one thing I do know, let's put that in the wall just a little, and this one just a little. Excuse me. Anyway, one side effect, the reason I brought up my food adventure was because I'm giving you these little micro belches. The reason why is because one of the very few side effects that I'm suffering, one of the very few effects of a very, very mild case of food poisoning that I am suffering, is that I'm burping. And I'm unfortunately my new headphones, they've got a mute button, but it's in an awkward place and I can't get to it easily. So I apologize to anyone out there who's offended by the fact that I'm occasionally burping in your ear. It is not done on purpose, I assure you. Excuse me. Doors, doors, doors. Who's got the doors? Okay, let's get rid of the dry stone and let's go to the East Asia theme. And I think we're going to use this one. This is a magnificent door, in case you haven't noticed. Yeah, that just looks fine. And you may notice that I put it over the keeper gate. Well, that's not going to matter at all, because the keeper will walk right through these things. But in the meantime, this door looks amazing. All right. And that's how our keepers are going to get into this habitat. Now, let me check on how much land that giant pandas need, because I think I've got more than enough here, because this is a pretty huge a pretty huge habitat. 900 meters square. I'm sure I have more than that. Oh, for crying out loud, really? Okay, you know what? Whatever. If it's not going to pop up a habitat, well, there's no animal in it yet, so I guess that's, understandable. Anyway, so let's deal with this for a second. How we wanted to do this. Let's go back to the dry stone. It's right here. And we're going to handle this in the same exact way. Unfortunately, most of the episode is going to be me laying walls down, because, if you ever notice, the first half of any habitat build I do is me laying walls down or shaping terrain or something like that. And I'm not going to be doing a lot of terrain shaping in this zoo. It's just, yeah. There's going to be some inside the habitat, but otherwise, you know what? let's. But otherwise, you know, it's not going to be a lot of. There's not going to be a lot of natural barriers in this zoo. I'm just going to warn you right now. The irony being, I prefer natural barriers, but in this, you know, one part of the reason why I decided to do an East Asian zoo is to challenge myself, so that you know, to do things that were outside of what I normally did, and having a completely gardened up, non-natural zoo is not something I normally do. So I'm thinking, hey, you know, this is something that I can use to stretch my creativity and do something different. Plus, I'm concentrating on an interesting group of animals, and I'm hoping people find it entertaining. You know? Of course, watching me lay down walls is probably about as entertaining as watching paint dry. There are some times where I'm tempted. I'm tempted to say, you know what, to heck with it. Let's just do a speed build. But every time I get that temptation, I think, no. The reason I refused to do speed builds in the first place was so that people who couldn't figure out what the speed build people were doing because they were moving too fast, you know, let's give them something to watch. And I have since had people say, thank you for not doing speed builds. You know, I mean, I did the one because my audio track died. Okay, that was an aberration. I'm not going to do any more. You know, I just won't. Not unless something similar happens, or if I'm asked, hey, could you stop doing these and start doing speed builds by a majority of my subscribers. But you know, but the majority of my subscribers seems to like this slow. Damn it. You know, they seem to like the fact that I show them what I'm doing and am taking them through it step by step, and all that. And I got to tell you, anyway, in any case, if you're doing really good builds, you're not going to be done with them in you know, I mean, I was talking to somebody on Facebook, and they were like, I don't understand how you can take an hour to build a habitat. And I'm like, well, you know, it just happens. And he goes, yeah, but it really takes me more than 5-6 minutes. And I'm like, what? And of course, he showed a couple of pictures of his habitats, and I'm like, well, that explains that. I mean, you know, no offense to the guy, but my lord, he was doing, you know, nothing but the featureless square Bronx Zoo circa 1938 style cement bottom cages, no enrichment for the animals, you know, zoos that nobody builds anymore in the real world because they're horrible. I mean, I'm sure you know the kind of the kind of zoo that I'm talking about. Nobody builds those anymore because they are literally horrible. All right. Now, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do.